Can you hear me, Quiana? Okay. Welcome to Jazz Voices, where we're shining the light on great jazz vocalists from everywhere. And today we are talking to the fantabulous Quiana Lynell. And for those of you who do not or have not met Quiana, let me tell you a little bit about her. She released her debut album, A Little Love, in 2019. And you definitely want to add that to your collection, for sure. If you've listened to my radio show, you know I've played quite a bit of that. She's performed with such notables as Terrence Blanchard, Herbie Hancock, Patti Austin, Ledisi, Bilal, just to name a few. And she's been mentored by Aaron Neville, the Aaron Neville. She'll be performing the Billie Holiday Songbook in Cincinnati, New Year's Eve, and I'm so excited about this. She'll be performing with the Cincinnati Pops Orchestra, so you better be in the audience. I wanted to talk to Quiana so she could just let us know what's happening, what she's been doing lately, but what we can expect on New Year's Eve as she performs with the Cincinnati Pops Orchestra. Welcome, Quiana, with all that out of the way. One moment. Hold on. Can you unmute yourself? You're muted.
Yep.
There you go. Yes.
So
perfect.
We can hear each other.
You can hear me, but I couldn't
Hello
hear
again.
you. Hello again. We're back. No, welcome to Jazz Voices Live. All right. Well, tell us what we can expect for New Year's Eve.
Oh my goodness, Kelly, you can expect a full dose of Quiana Lynell. I can tell you that.
Okay.
You know, it's a tribute show. However, you know, whenever I do tributes, I always say that it's going to be more of how that artist has influenced me and not necessarily someone trying to portray or be that artist. I just don't. That's stifling to your artistry, you know. And it's a battle we have in jazz that we are trying to learn from that history. And some people get caught emulating it, but as an artist, it's important that I'm able to always explore and be Quiana in every situation. So we're going to do some Billie Holiday songbook. You're going to get some Quiana Lynell songbook. And
Yay.
I'm so excited. Right. I have some of my like Sing Out, March On. The trilogy is what Daniel and I have began to call it, where it's Sing Out, March On, Come Sunday, and I Wish I Knew How It Felt to Be Free. Those have all been arranged for the orchestra.
Ooh, that'll be good.
My God.
That'll be really good. Yes.
I'm so excited. It's one of my favorite parts of my show. You know, that's like my tribute to people who've died unjustly, specifically black and brown people, specifically started off with Trayvon. So it's always been a soft space for me to pray and have a moment to remind us all that we are not beyond needing the help of each other and you know, bringing us back together as a community. We get so caught up in our own individual lives that we forget, you know, and it's my job. When we come together and we're having a good time, let me just put a little something on your mind every now and then that once we leave here, you know, life is still happening. And we just need to be reminded that we are stronger together.
Yeah. Well, the last time, that's good. Last time we spoke, we were just coming out of the pandemic.
Girl,
and you have, I mean, you know, like now people are just like, it's over.
Are we out? Like, is it over?
I mean, people, you know, we couldn't even perform live or in person. And you had just released your album like months before the pandemic. Yeah. So what's been happening since then? I see a little something different in you because, you know, I follow your social media and I see a little something different. I'm like, okay,
Well, baby, let me
she,
just say, let me.
she, she.
She's vibrating, as they say, on a different. Her frequency has shifted a little bit. I will definitely say. I'm just in a place. The pandemic exposed a lot of things that we needed to see in a different frame.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
I'm so excited to be able, just like you said, to be able to share live with people again. There's every time I get behind the microphone, I have this fervor and this fire as if it could be my last time. Like I think
Mm-hmm.
about it. I still have this live show that I did right before the pandemic. Right before the pandemic, like I came home March 11th, and then the world shut down on like the 13th or the 15th.
Mm-hmm.
And I had just done this like 12-day run in Europe, sold out show with my band. We were so tight. And we have this recording from Wimhuis in the Netherlands. And I almost released it and almost called it like, if I never sing again. I was having like
Oh.
these, the pandemic had us in these like,
Right.
as an
Exactly.
emerging artist, it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
it's such a tumultuous thing going from local to regional, and
Mm.
going to that international stage. There are things you have to do different. There are things that you can't, quote unquote, do anymore. Just different
Like
things.
what? Like what's different?
Well, like let's say, as a gigging musician, you might do a lot of background gigs where you're doing society gigs, as we call them here in New
Mm-hmm.
Orleans, like where you're getting paid, but you're not really the act. You're just
Right.
a part of the ensemble of the
Mm-hmm.
event. And so, as an artist, you don't really do background type of events. I am the main event. So,
Mm-hmm.
I had gone from doing those, and those things will pay you money. Like, especially as a jazz artist, you can get you. That's how you pay your bills. You survive off doing society or
Mm-hmm.
like community,
Yeah,
background type
yeah,
of
yeah.
things. But
Mm-hmm.
once you switch over, you don't really do that as much anymore because you want to be the focal. You're doing a show, a 90-minute or a 60-minute per take on something. So not having that income and solely being a touring artist and
Ooh.
trying to build that career in that way, and then the world shuts down.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
I
I can't even imagine.
during right and then you can't teach as much as you used to. Like, you might be
Right.
a teacher that supplements, but it's
Right.
just different. And so the pandemic, I wrote this one woman show called Pillow Talk, and Daniel and I did a tour of that for about 18 months. We went to San Jose. We went to Rhode Island. We did it all around, and it was just me and him. And it was a show. It's kind of, I've stepped into my, like, I talk a lot. I'm not the guest. You're like, come on, talk, Quiana. No, I will talk your ear off. And I'm always telling a story, and I'm always telling a joke, and I always have anecdotes. And so the Pillow Talk, when it's just me and Daniel, allowed me to weave in these stories and anecdotes about the pillows that I like to sit on, whether it's the pillow in my bed, the pillow in my bathtub, the pillow in my car. It was really derived from the quarantine and being single and dating and being a single mom and realizing the relationships that we have, how there's so much similar, and how
Mm-hmm.
every relationship kind of wants the same thing. But I go through songs and music that I had delved into during the quarantine that kind of describe the situations that I was going through. Not just me, other people too.
Yeah. Now,
I don't even know. Those are not all my stories. Right.
you have
It's
such.
not just me.
Now, have you recorded any of it, or you just did it live? It was just
Okay,
for live.
so right, so the Pillow Talk show was just live. However, I have been recording. I have a new album that I'm working on, a new project
All
I'm working
right.
on, and I think that some of the material from Pillow Talk we're going to be able to put into it because we didn't record it just because I just have, I don't know, I still have like an issue with recording sometimes. Like
Mm-hmm.
live, I love live, but when I get in the studio, I just get so like anal, and the energy is not the same all the time. I'm still working on being able to transfer what I'm feeling when I have people bouncing that
Mm-hmm.
energy back to me versus when I'm just looking at that microphone. It's a little different.
It is very different. You just have to record a live album.
Right, right, right. But this
You
next
just
project
record
I'm
one.
really excited about. I did not have that problem. I will say I think one of the things that you're seeing differently in me is that I am doing everything I want to do. Like there's no I am being forced. Like a lot of times I used to be like, well, I don't know, what should I do? And somebody would interject and they'd say, oh, do this. Well, you should do.
Mm.
Oh, you don't know, do this. And
Mm-hmm.
now I have people around me that are like, what do you want? And they
Mm.
wait.
Yeah.
And they
So,
wait
right, right,
because
right.
at the end of the day, if you're doing
Yeah.
things that are not what you want, you can always blame somebody else. You can
Right.
always take a goat out. You can always, it's not going to be like you want it. And I am really having to sit and think about what do I want to say? What do I want to do? What do I want to look like? Instead of just doing what people think I should do. And that is, that's what you see.
Mm. Okay. Well, it's
I'm just
good.
doing it scared. Like, well, I think this is
It,
it.
yeah.
And they're like, all right, here we go. And I'm
Yeah.
like, all right, cool.
Let's do
It's
it.
a different feeling. Yeah, it's a totally different feeling.
So who do you have working on your album with you? What musicians other than
Okay.
your
Other
what is
than
his
my
name?
A1
Meineke? Yeah,
Daniel.
yeah,
Yeah, Daniel Meineke, of
Daniel.
course. So on the project, I've got Max Marian on bass, Mike Harris out of Baton Rouge on drums right now. We went and recorded, and then Mr. Tolles out of Memphis is on guitar. I went to Memphis and recorded in the historic studio with Boo Mitchell, right? Royal Studios.
Mm.
And that's where Let's Stay Together was recorded. That's where Tina Turner recorded a lot of her material. And when we walked
Okay.
in that space, I just can't even tell you what came over me. So I'm in a different little place right now, even musically. Like I'm really into some like Irma Thomas, Marva Wright, Betty Davis, Millie Jackson, Etta James. Like I'm in a more bluesy,
Mm. Mm-hmm.
blues kind of place. So a lot of what I'm writing, it just feels like home. Like I know we've been home a lot longer, and um, being home has helped me to reconnect with the music that I love from here, the music that I was doing
Yeah.
when I was home a lot. I've actually played with a couple of bands doing like wedding gigs and things that I hadn't done in years, and
Mm-hmm.
it reminds you of the music that made you. Each region, especially in jazz. I keep doing the little air quotes
Yeah.
in this improvisational music. Each region, like if we have our different set of standards, if I would say,
Yeah.
so like the things
Yeah.
that you do in Ohio, we might do some of the same songs, but there are some songs here that if
Mm-hmm.
you're a vocalist on this scene, you need to know, Mercy, Mercy, Mercy. I'm gonna need you to know those lyrics, whereas
Mm.
in
Mm-hmm.
San Francisco, you may not need to know Mercy, Mercy, Mercy. You might
Mm-hmm.
think that, you know what I'm saying? That
Yeah.
has lyrics. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there are
And
different
it does.
things. So being back in at home and feeling the music that moves people here close to me and
Yeah.
reconnecting to that. Like I went and sat in with this Southern soul band, and it just felt so good, so
Mm-hmm.
so the album has influence of home. There's a lot of
Okay.
music that has like that second line groove from New Orleans that is the jazz that is here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to
Yeah.
explain it. I'm really
Yeah.
excited.
Well, that's what I see. I see an opening up. Not that you were closed before, because I think you always had, a very
Just a new
confident,
layer,
very,
a
but
new right.
it is. So you just toured Israel, right? Am I right about? Yes. You got to tell me about that. Like
Yes.
that had to be
Yes.
life changing.
Oh my goodness. I don't think I can even adequately put into words the effect that being in Israel has had on me. I just did a Christmas concert last week, and I sang "Oh Holy Night," and I really went into tears because I was really singing about Jesus, and I have gone to the place where
Mm,
he was laid and put my hands in the hole where his blood ran. Like I
mm,
have had experiences that I had never been able to connect to before. So,
mm-hmm.
um, yeah, it's so much. The country, Israel was, Tel Aviv was phenomenal. I mean, the beach, there were so many stimuli that were
Mm-hmm.
affecting me.
Yeah.
The tour itself, I was supposed to be a guest artist with another headlining artist,
Okay.
and he ended up getting sick last minute, so it ended up being the Quiana Lynell show. So I had
Wow.
to listen. You cannot be
Whoa.
you. There are things that cannot prepare you for the things that are going to come for you. Like I grew
Mm,
so much as an artist, as a band leader, and then to be in Israel doing all this, it was
right.
amazing. We had
You
sold
didn't
out
have your
shows.
band. You didn't have your band with you.
No,
You were
I
playing,
had to with all Baby,
man.
listen, the things you cannot learn in school, you can't learn in a lesson. You just have to be
Yeah.
put in a situation sometimes and hope that you can communicate. Communication is the number one skill.
Mm-hmm.
Communication and being able to check your ego. That's one thing I learned, because at the end of the day, once it's time for the show to go on, the show has to go on. And whatever needs to happen
Yep.
for the show to be the best is what needs to happen. It doesn't matter if you're the best, if the piano, like the show has to be the best. And you just have to do that.
Mm-hmm. So the people received the music
Oh my
well,
gosh,
I
it was
take it.
phenomenal.
They
It was
loved it.
phenomenal.
That
Yeah, it was
I'm
great. It was great. We had standing over. I mean, I had to just look. I'm not singing no more. We're done. We
I'm
have no
done.
more songs. Like it's time to go. Turn the lights
Oh,
on.
that's great. That is
Yeah.
great. That is great. So the new album, when can we expect it to be
So
released?
I'm gonna drop my first single January. I think I'm gonna have another
Yay.
single before Mardi Gras, and then I'm thinking a late year, at least after summer.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
If I think it's done, I don't. I'm not trying to rush. I'm
Yeah.
totally independent now. I don't have anybody telling me anything these days. So there's no label rushing me,
Mm-hmm.
or there's
Mm-hmm.
no. So when it's right, I'll put out the project. But until it's right, I think I'm gonna drop some singles. Um, because
Okay.
I don't know. I've been, SZA put out this album the other day. It's got 23 tracks on it. I was like, 23?
23 is
Maybe,
that's
the
a
long album
lot.
is coming back.
Yes. 23
So
is a lot.
23
That's
is a
two
lot.
albums. That's
That
it.
exactly.
It's
It's
a
a
dual
double
set. It's
LP.
a double.
Exactly.
Yes. There
I
you
mean,
go.
but after a pandemic, we got a lot to say. So
Right.
I don't know.
Right.
I just want to make sure that this time I want to make sure that I have an idea. The album is the idea is home. There's no place like home.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And when I feel like I have isolated what it feels like to be at home with music, then I think it'll be ready to be released.
Okay. Now tell me about Made in America, lyrically speaking. I didn't
Yeah.
know this project existed.
Well, it doesn't get enough work, I would definitely say.
Okay.
But I started that project some years ago, and
Mm-hmm.
it really just helps. I started this lesson when I was teaching elementary music, and I would walk my kids through how to write a blues, right? And because I feel like the blues is like the most basic way to express a feeling. You could tell a little joke. It's like
Mm-hmm.
it's the best way to just tell a story within this time frame. Basic songwriting. And so we start with blueses, and we go through other American music and talk about the lyrics and the stories that are told and how to come up with that on our own. It's a class made for, elementary to middle school kids.
Okay.
It's talking about songwriting and
Oh,
lyrics.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I saw that and I was like, I haven't talked to her about that. That because it looked
Yeah.
interesting. And
It's been
I
so long since I've done
yeah.
any of those. Like I said, there's so many things you don't do once you make that transition to
Yeah.
to try
Right.
to aim these goals. I've been teaching a lot lately. I'm actually working with the Jazz and Heritage Foundation here in New Orleans and the Trombone Shorty Foundation. I'm mentoring a couple of artists, and man, I'm so excited about the level of artistry that's coming out of New Orleans right now. It's phenomenal. It's phenomenal.
Okay. I don't know
Motivating.
why we didn't think about a workshop while you're here.
Yeah, it's not too late.
I have to talk to, I don't know, well, we'll talk later, but
Not too. We might, we're kind of.
we got a couple weeks. We can get some
We come a day early or something. Maybe.
How long will you be here? You're leaving out the next day?
Right now we come in. Yeah, we come in.
Yeah,
we come
go out.
Yeah,
yeah, that's what I thought.
I'm so excited. I rehearsed with Daniel this week. I've been talking to the band. I sent over all my charts. Mm-hmm. It's going to be a phenomenal show. You're going to be there?
I can't be there. I wanted to be there. But
what?
I can't be
It is
there.
New Year's Eve. It is.
I know. I was like, oh, and we got to get you back. That's just all there is to it. We have to get you back.
Definitely.
And we'll definitely have a workshop while you're here.
This is one of the premier symphonies in the country. So I'm so honored and so excited to be enshrined with their legacy. They're one of the premier groups to play with. So I'm excited to be following in the footsteps of everyone that's done this before. My mentor, Ledisi, she talks to me all the time. I call her and ask her, like, hey, how do you do this? Because this is actually one of my first headlining shows with the symphony. I did a lot of work with Terrence with the symphonies as a guest artist with him, but this is really my first show with I program the music. I pick the arrangements. This is my show, so this is exciting.
Well, I'm excited for you. I am excited for you. And we can't forget people are listening. So, follow Quiana. Yeah, right. Follow Quiana. Her website is QuianaLynell.com. QuianaLynell.com. She's all over social media. She loves Twitter, though, I think best. Am I right about that? No? Okay. No. Well, she's on Twitter.
Twitter's where I go to vent.
Oh, okay.
Instagram, I like the bit. I'm on Instagram all day. If you want to just know all of my life,
you should follow her, though. I believe that, a rising star for sure. I can't wait till the new album comes out.
As my says, I'm almost famous.
Almost? Are you almost famous?
Yeah.
Well, you're famous in my book, so.
That's my line name from my sorority in college. I'm almost famous.
Oh yeah, almost famous. Really? Mm-hmm. All right.
They're going to change my name.
Yeah. All right. Well, I want to thank you. I'm going to let you go, but I want to thank you for coming on. Yeah. And anyone in the Cincinnati area, if you're close to Cincinnati, then
not.
That's what hey, you could fly in too. It would be worth it.
Destination New Year's. Hey, let's go.
It would be worth it. I'm not kidding. I'm sure it's going to be a fantastic show. So until next time.
Thank you for doing what you do. I really appreciate you having me on.
Oh, thank you. Well, we'll see you next time. Take care.
Bye-bye.
All right, bye.